Let's revisit CloudFront. I call this CloudFront Part 2. So CloudFront, as you know, can deliver content to your users faster by caching content on edge locations. Now, one thing to note is that we can cache dynamic content as well as static content. Dynamic content delivery is achieved by using HTTP cookies forwarded from your origin site. CloudFront supports Adobe Flash Media Server's RTMP protocol, but you have to choose the RTMP delivery method. Now, web distributions, which use the HTTP protocol or HTTPS, also support media streaming and live streaming. And origins can be S3, EC2, ELB, or another web server. And you can configure multiple origins. As a matter of fact, behaviors are allowed to configure different content based on URL path, for example. An example of this might be a WordPress site where we have Route 53 coming into a CloudFront distribution, and we specify the static content is going to be coming from an S3 bucket, whereas our dynamic content can come off a load balancer, which is back-ended with an EC2 fleet. Now, there's several ways to invalidate a CloudFront cache. The first method is simply delete the file from the origin and just wait for the time to live to expire. And the TTL is configurable. You can also use the AWS console to request an invalidation of all content, or you can specify just a certain path. You can use the CloudFront API to submit an invalidation request. And there are several third-party tools that allow you to invalidate the cache. CloudFront also supports Zone Apex DNS entries. And what that means is that's just your domain name without any www or any subdomain in front of it. And in this case, scottpletcher.guru is my domain name, and I've pointed it to a CloudFront distribution. And you can see my NSLOOKUP returns the IP addresses of that CloudFront distribution. CloudFront also supports geo restrictions. You might want to do this if you have certain regulatory restrictions or guidelines where you're not allowed to show content or expose content to certain geographies or countries. So I can use this whitelisting and blacklisting capability to restrict or explicitly grant access to my CloudFront distribution.